All right, so today's lesson, down on the corner intro, we're going to do it in 7 keys. Don't freak out just yet. I'm going to show you a bunch of different ways to do it, and then you choose the way you want to do it for your ability, but also for your voice, because depending on what key it is, you'll want it in a certain key. We're going to start off in the key of C, and if you look at the tablature, you read all 4 lines left to right. So the first note we're going to hit is actually the top line, which is the A string right here. Giant cockroaches eat apples. That's the first note right there. So this one, I encourage you to use your pinky. You don't have to. If you want to stretch your ring finger to that 5th fret, you can. But this is another opportunity for you to start strengthening up your pinky finger. So if you look at it, here's the intro. Right? You recognize that? So let's do that slow. So we're going from 3 on the A string, but then we're going to 5, the 5th fret on the E string. Like I said, if you want, you can stretch your, right? Stretch your ring finger if you want, but this might be a good opportunity to work your pinky. So 3, 5, 3. So I'm using the same finger, my middle finger, on the 3rd fret for both strings. 3, 5, 3, just moving it over, right? And then I'm going right back to the same fret, but on the A string. Right? 3, 5, 3, 3, 3, 5, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3. All right? So that way you're just sort of sitting here. You're using your pinky or your ring finger, whichever one you choose, for the 5th fret. And they have markers there. And then middle finger for the 2nd fret. And the only time you're using your pointer finger is when you get to the 2nd fret that one time. When you're practicing this, go pretty slow. And then just pause for a second, start over. And if this is in the key of C, so right after that it goes, early in the morning, just about supper time. C, C, G, C is the next 2 lines, I believe, in the song. Just so you can hear it, so you can be like, hey, is this the right key for my voice? All right, so for the next key, if you like that key, stick with that, practice that. But if you're interested in a challenge, we're going to move all of those notes we just played up 2 frets this way. Up, meaning the notes get higher, not lower this way. So this is actually up the fretboard. So we're going to go, instead of going 3, 5, we're going to start here. We're still going to use our middle finger to start on the 5th fret, right? But now we're going to go to the 7th fret with our ring finger or pinky finger, whichever one you choose. It's exactly the same thing we just did, except we moved everything up 2. So this shouldn't be too much of a challenge for you. If you could do this, you can do this. You know, your brain might be like, oh my gosh, I've never been up the neck that far, the 7th fret. But it's the same form. We're never hitting any open strings, so it's the same form, but this is in the key of D. So let's do it again, and then we're going to strum D, D, A, D after that, all right? Early in the evening, just about supper time, right? So maybe that works out better for your voice, or maybe you just want a challenge to be able to play up the neck. All right, let's go with E. Oh my gosh, Kirk, how are we going to pull this off? It's the same thing again. We're going to put all those notes 2 more frets up the fretboard, but we're same thing. We're going to start with our middle finger. Right? 7, 9, 7, 7, 7, 9, 7, 7, 6, 7, 7. And then we're going to play an E. And this key is usually not one for people who want to play in this key, but early in the evening, just about supper time. That's an E, a pinky D that I teach. That's one way of doing it. The B chord, I went to F shape here on the 8th fret, and I'm sorry, on the 6th fret. But you can also go down to a B down here on the 2nd fret if that's what you normally do. Early in the evening, just about supper time. That works too, all right? All right, so that's in the key of E. Now we're going to go to the key of F. What are we going to do, Kirk? How are we going to handle it? E and F are only a half step away from each other or 1 fret away from each other. So we just started on the 7th fret for the E key of E. We just have to go 1 more. That's it. It's the same exact thing we're doing here. We moved it all the way up here. And then when we start playing, it's F, F, C, F. Early in the evening, just about supper time. Over in the courthouse, starting to unwind. Right? All right. We're going to go to the key of G. All right, Kirk, you're taking it too far. Same thing. We started here. Now we're going to move all the way up here. This is the 10th fret. You have markers here. It's usually just 5, 7, 10, and 12. If you have a soprano, you're not going to have a marker here. Your fretboard ends right there, and the sound hole's right here. All right? I have a tenor, so I have a longer neck. You don't need a longer neck to play what we're doing, but I'm just letting you know visually why yours might look differently than mine. But we're going to start on the 10th fret. We're still going to use our middle finger. Right? 10, 12, 10, 10, 10, 12, 10, 10, 9, 10, 10. Right? And then we're going to go to a G. Early in the evening, just about supper time. Over in the courthouse, starting to unwind. On the corner, trying to bring you up. I can't remember all the lyrics off the thing, but this is just to get you started. So it's the same thing all the way up the neck. But guess what? A lot of sopranos end on the 12th fret, so we can't move it up anymore. I can technically, because I have a tenor. Some people have a concert can move up to the key of A up here, but we're not going to be able to. We're not going to do that. If you want to, you can go ahead and move everything up from here to here, and you can play the same exact thing in the key of A. But I'm going to teach you a different way of playing the same exact thing. If you look at the tablature, it's going to be on the E and C string now, not the A and E string. Giant cockroaches eat apples, just the 2 middle strings. But we're going to start on the 5th fret. Now, the shape of this is not the same. We usually have a gap between the frets when we were playing over here. But when we move strings, they are not as far apart as each other. So it's going to be 5, 6, 4, right? Instead of like the other ones where they're the same. So look at the tablature. 5, 6, 4, 5, 5, 6, 4, 4. And then we're going to go 4, 5, 5. And that's in the key of A. Then we're going to go to, now we could go all the way back down to this A. Early in the evening, just about supper time. But since I know we have to come all the way up here for the E, the pinky E, but you could also play the E like that. But I usually play the pinky E like that. I just go ahead and make an F shape right here for the A chord. This is an alternate A chord. So early in the evening, just about supper time, right? So that's a different way of doing it. Oh, and I did that wrong. I'm sorry. It was supposed to start with the A. Early in the evening, just about supper time. Sorry, I did E-E-A-E instead of A-A-E-A. But that way it's just right here. I don't have to move my hand or not. The least movement, the better, unless you're trying to be dynamic and stuff like that. All right, so now we're going to move that same exact shape up 2 frets. We were on the 5th fret here. Now we're going to move up to the 7th fret. You should have a marker for that. We're going to use the same shape of what we just did. Seven, 8, 6, 7. Oh, no. 7, 8, 6, 7, 7, 8, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7. This is in the key of B. So we can go all the way back down here to the B, early and even. And then an F sharp is either like that, and then back to the B flat. So basically all you would need to do is move your whole hand down, move your your middle finger, one string towards the floor, which go from the C string to the E string, make an F shape, right? It's the F shape, moved up one with the bar. And that might be way over your head, but this is all something you can work towards. So it's early in the evening, just about supper time, over in the courthouse, starting to unwind. I can't remember what the next chord is, but anyways, in this key. So there you go. That's all of them. C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. If you have any questions, let me know. I know some of that was complicated, but this is all stuff you'll be able to apply in the future. Great job.